Another video for today. I don't know how well it's gonna do, but it's on the floor. I'm trying to get the angle. I think I'll be able to see. So I'm gonna do a few little exercises, some stuff I saw last night. Anyways, I'm gonna do this exercise part where like it's like a taekwondo thing I was watching before, where it's like you're pretty much exercising the feet, but then you're doing push-ups. I'm gonna do some stretches, and then I'm gonna do some front kicks, back kicks, like a 360 kick. So just bear with me for a second. But back here I feel like some inflammation or something. I don't know how good this video's coming out. I feel like it's looking like shit. Take you on another angle so you can see. Here's my puppy tied up just for a second. So this is where I'll stretch real quick. So, just to mind you, it's been a while since I've stretched. I used to be able to stretch like a motherfucker. When I was working at the River Lodge, I was always stretching like a lot. And I got really good at it where like I was very toned here and down here just from stretching alone. But yeah, so this is just a small little video for the stretching. And a couple other things I'm working on, because like I said, I'm going to start working on my legs, like the shins, up here, the inside, maybe the foot too. There's ways to condition the foot. But as of right now, I'm trying to get back into the stretching, because it's very lagging. I'm not as mobile as I was. But eventually, like the more I work into it, because it's got muscle memory, like everyone else, when you practice and practice and practice, it still remembers. And I think if I just kind of push it slowly out of the day, little by little, like maybe 5 times today, I'll get majority of the stretch out, and then just kind of work it, because this is kind of like an elastic, you know, the muscle, it's like a tight rubber band. If you stretch it too hard, it'll snap, you know. That's what I learned from one of the martial arts, I don't know, class that I was going to, but that didn't turn out so well. Personal shit. But yeah, so these, majority of the time I would stretch like this before I would box and stuff, to hit the punching bag. Not boxing anybody in general. I've only had a few sparring sessions before. I think I had about 2 and 1 martial arts class, which was really good. That one was pretty cool. I liked the kid I was sparring with. And the Fort Mojave Boxing Center, I boxed with maybe about 3 dudes. Roughly the 2 other individuals around my weight. I mean, they were probably they probably weighed a little bit more than me, but I'm a little guy, you know what I mean? So it's alright though. I have a lot of fucking strength and a lot of power. I don't let my size allow me to get intimidated by any kind of dudes, because I fought all kinds of dudes, man. I fought little dudes, big dudes, medium dudes. I've fought like super fucking tall ass dudes back in high school, or even just on the street and shit, you know, back home. So I don't really allow that to fuck with my energy. But yeah, so let's see if I can get it. Something's up with my joints. I don't know. I've been drinking a lot of water, but I don't know what it is that I've been putting in my body that's either it's just taking me a while to bounce back from that hard week, but right here I could feel like a crack that wasn't there for a long time. But also, just to mind you, there's a lot of weird shit going on. Like, I don't know if you notice, like, your face itches more, or if there's like a lot of pollen coming through the window. They're spraying shit in the air. It's the government. Yeah, they've been doing it for a long time, but now they're like increasingly doing it like every night, all day, chemtrails and shit, which gives you dementia. Anything that's like of aluminum or even aluminum foil, anything of like certain products that they push out and you eat over time and accumulates in your body, eventually it'll clog like the neuron transmitters that fire off in your brain that are like through the veins and all that. Sometimes people will get too much, like I said, an accumulation of time. There's little metal particles in your brain, and when the neuron transmitter fires off, it's not going through. That's why you see people that have dementia, they stall out, like, you know, because it's not firing correctly. But another thing to mind you, like I said, with the bananas, they also help with the focus, the mental state. It actually helps a lot with recovery. I ate a banana and a green apple before I came to the park today. I'll probably have some water when I go over to my mom's and my stepdad's. I'm going to go swimming and do the jacuzzi, relax my muscles, keep continuing to work out right here for a little bit, take my puppy for a little run, and then we're going to walk all the way over there. Just the more exercise we get out of the day, the more body conditions. I haven't been able to sleep as much through the last couple of nights, but I just continue to keep working out, and eventually when I get some time to myself, I'm just going to fall asleep for a good majority of 8 hours, and my body should be on the up and up. So anyways, let's see. Oh, shit. Fuck up. Mind you, I'm very fucking tired. I did a lot of workouts yesterday. I did an 8-mile run, 8 mile, 0.69 kilometers. So I've been doing a lot of leg workouts, like you saw me doing this. I was doing a lot of that last night, a lot of these. Or even like, you know, like that. Just little shits. I had a weight and I was doing this. And then I was doing the crunches with the weights, doing a lot of that. What else? I was doing shit like this. Or even this. Give me a second. Fucking getting tired. Yeah, so I'm just trying to pick up my cardiovascular a lot more, get my body on the up and up. I don't know what's clogging it. There has to be something going on with it, because I usually have a real quick recovery. So maybe if I just do some different fruits or something, it's gonna shoot up. But it can also be like I said, I'm not getting a lot of sleep. So sleep is definitely the key for exercising and, you know, being more efficient. But on another note though, like me, I like to push myself even on the most ridiculous extreme levels, because it helps me with my mental state. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like if you get poisoned by somebody, the poison's so toxic where you're like, whoa, fuck, you know, and like you're falling. But some people have the strength to be like, and they seem to push out of it, you know what I mean? So that's why I do a lot of weird fucking different types of methods and stuff that I look into. But I was trying to remember the leg workouts, what I was doing. That way you guys would totally get it. So yeah, I was doing a lot of these, you know. That's the one. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but I mean, just even a little of this, you know, the mobility, like it does, you don't normally move like that. And if you're heavy, you know, it's going to wear you out. So I like to do a lot of those type of things, you know, just trying to open up more. Yeah, I don't know who those people were. I don't know if they flipped me off or what. Fuck them, you know. Fucking fools won't come up to me, fight me in my face. So those are the exercises. Like I said, I use that little ball there. This is a tennis court. There's that foundation I was hitting yesterday. I work on these poles, like I said. Got all the trees, we got more grass area over there. Sometimes me and Lulu will do sprints, but see how there's other people with dogs and stuff like that walking around. They kind of tend to get in the way. Not that that's, you know, like I'm telling them to get out of here or nothing, but what I'm saying is basically, like, I can't let her off the leash because I like to let her off so we can run together and sprint. It's just more mobily easier that way, because when I have her on the harness and she's trying to sprint and I'm sprinting and then she's going that way, it's tugging me. We're not really running efficiently, you know. When we do go on the 4-mile runs, I pretty much jog, you know, pretty lightly. Hey, hold on, I gotta unleash her real quick. Hold on, mama. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, no, but so basically this is the harness, but it's not attached to the harness. I just kind of hooked it on there. But I just had to tie her up because I know she loves this tire. She's real greedy with the tire. And she's like, it's mine. So I didn't want her disturbing the video. I was trying to remember what the hell I was saying. Oh, so basically, like, when I have the harness on and we're doing the 4 miles, I'm fairly running, well, we're running pretty kind of hard if the wind's blowing towards us, but majority of the other times, how do I say this? I'm having brain farts. I'm sorry. But when we're running, we'll be running if the wind's really blowing real hard. But majority of the time, I'm jogging. So when I'm jogging, it's not that bad because like there's like a lot of soft sand, so it's a little tougher for her to get through, including for me, you know. But I usually run on my tippy toes. That teaches me, you know, like the boxing aspect, like be on your toes. Like I can be on my toes like all day with that shit, you know, because I practice and practice and practice for hours and hours doing that type of work with the running. So yeah, I like to bring her here because nobody's here. This gate's closed, you know, no one's gonna come. I could put a lock here, but I don't really worry about it. Most people, they observe and they see what we're doing in here, and they're like, oh, I had a couple of individual that came in with their dog, and they were playing and having fun, which was really cool. But yeah, while we're out, sometimes I'll jog around here maybe 5 times just to get a little jog in. I did the little workout like you saw. I was actually doing the workout before I started this video, so I had put in quite a few sets already, you know, including from last night and the day before. Like, I'll go pretty hard if I can. Today, I don't know, maybe after the pool and the jacuzzi, everything will be a lot more better. And like I said, I'll just keep downloading these videos and stuff and show you my progress. I'm going to keep working on my legs and stuff, because I do, like, if you ever watch any of my boxing videos, I'm real fast with my hands. I got a lot of good moves, a lot of good techniques in my boxing. But I do want to bring out the aspect of my legs, because I've seen this video on YouTube. You can always look it up. It's called Karate versus Kung Fu versus Taekwondo. And when I was watching the Taekwondo, it wasn't really like anything too different. Like, a lot of them, they just have different methods to what they do, right? Like Kung Fu is more like about, you can make Kung Fu out of anything, right? Like you see the Karate Kid, he takes his jacket off and hangs it up, takes it off and hangs it up, right? And at the end, when he's complaining and all that shit, the guy shows him what it's about, and he's like, whoa, like he started to react, right? So basically, Kung Fu you could pull out of anything, right? And karate is actually like a 200-year-old martial art thing that was cultivated through China, and China has been with the Kung Fu aspect for 9,000 years. So basically, they only give the Japanese like a certain amount of information, and then they're like, oh, we don't want to give you any more information, because, you know, it makes sense, like religiously, I guess, or just, you know, to me, it's like a God fighting technique. You know what I mean? Like, you really pull out the chi, the energy, and stuff like that. So when China was the first one to come about that type of shit, anybody that's got secrets like that, they ain't gonna give it to you all for free. You know what I mean? If they did give it to the Japanese, the Japanese got a certain amount of information from it, and they worked really well with it, I want to say, because the karate aspect is like about straight shots and power, and they do have a lot of good techniques there. But I mean, you can always combine things, you know what I mean? Like, if you got the capability to really like hone in on shit and really observe, like for me, I'm a very good observer. Like, I can see shit that people won't see, like even like a little crack somewhere, like in a whole picture, and I'm like, what the hell is that right there? And they're like, oh, how did you see that? You know what I mean? Or like even like weird devil movies, like I'll see something in the background that nobody caught. You know what I mean? I'm just a very detailed person. And with that, and then plus I used to draw back then when I was younger. So like a lot of those type of skills that people don't really think about, like it really does play into, you know, other aspects. Like, you know, like there's arts of basketball, there's art to violin, there's art to ballet. I mean, look at Bruce Lee. He pretty much was in the ballet shit, and that ballet worked into his fucking boxing, and then eventually it worked into his fucking Jeet Kune Do status. You know what I'm saying? He took all the fine aspects of things that didn't really matter and realistical shit, and he just took the shit that really did, and he would just pull it out, like, you know, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty fucking cool. So for me, that's kind of like, I'm in search for some stuff like that. I know I can do it. I'm applying it, and yeah, even if it's taking me a long time, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Life hits. It's not like I'm in a fucking hypergenic chamber where, like, you know, I'm locked in there and I have nothing but just my mind and body to work with. You know what I mean? I have other responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, eventually I'll get to it, and when I do find more time, like I said, I'll just keep posting these videos and giving you guys the info of what I'm learning. But like I said, yeah, I'm gonna work on my legs, and the way I do my punching and shit like that, I'm gonna be doing my kicking like that. You know, I'm gonna combine it all together to where I can do the fast, energetic kicking to the boxing, and applying the kung fu into it at the same time. Because if you really think about it, nobody really moves like that. You know what I mean? Like on a whole bunch of other fundamentals or different types of levels, I want to say. Excuse my gum. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna end up doing. But also I'm strengthening the bones, I'm conditioning, you know, the stuff to where it's like my whole structure of my body's gonna be really fucking strong. Like even my head, because I've seen some dude get like fucking knocked real hard like in his head and he wasn't budging, kind of like the Terminator. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So I'm taking all kinds of different types of aspects and applying it to the body. Also, like, you know, like if you notice, I don't know if you noticed from the last videos, like I'm getting more since I'm not in the sun, but I have more good lighting here in the shade. I'm right here in the shade. You can see how young I look, and more like I have more like I'm hydrated, and the more I keep working at it, like give me a month or so, like I'm gonna look better than this. You know what I mean? So it's just what you stick with. Like I said, like everything's about dieting and water and stuff. And a lot of people think I'm in my like early 20s. Some people are like, fuck, I thought you were like 21 or 23, you know what I mean? People that know me, they're like, yeah, shut up, fool, you know what I mean? Well, of course, because they don't look like me, you know? But I'm a lot older. I'm not gonna say my age, you know what I mean? I mean, I have like 20-year-olds that chase me every now and then, you know, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's a lot of teaching methods out there that I don't think anybody realizes, like burying yourself in the dirt. There's like a lot of material under the ground of the earth that they don't talk about, and it's pretty much like, because everyone focuses on the body, focuses on the dieting, but they don't ground to the earth. That's a real big thing. Meditation's another thing, and burying yourself in the ground where there's a lot of iron, and so it like reverses your genetics and it makes you fucking younger, dude. And that's why, like in the Bible, if you ever read it, and you could sit here and say, oh, it was man written and da da da. Yeah, bitch, of course it was. God's not gonna write it. He'll tell you to write it. You know what I mean? Like he's up way up there. You're not gonna fucking get him down here, you know? But the way I see it is like, okay, it might have been fucked with a little bit, but you know, you get a lot of truth out of that book. I've read it. Like after my cousin died, I read it, and like, yeah, there was a lot of weird shit that happened, but it's just energy based. You know what I mean? Like it would have been better if they wrote it in like frequency, but they didn't know how to do that. So I think it's just with the story, especially the way we speak. You know, we have to be careful how we speak. Sometimes there's curses and shit like that. Those people out there, they know about it because they do all that fucking voodoo shit and witchcraft shit, you know, and it's like powerful or whatever, but all you're doing is giving, because as a human being on earth, this earth is known as a heaven. So, you know, this is our domain, and we have like all authority, like whether you're righteous or good at heart or not, but it doesn't matter if you're flesh and you're like a spirit on the inside of your flesh. You're giving those things, those like evil ones or bad forces of energy, I want to say, like just negative forces, right? You're giving them, like these voodoo people or witchcrafts or whatever like that, all they're doing is giving these things permission. Oh, go get him. You know what I mean? But you can send it back. Like, man, fuck that, I rebuke it. Send it back to the sender 100-fold. You know what I mean? They think they're smart, dude, and they're not really that smart. And then you have to just be mindful of it, because like when you do get attacked, it's mainly like they connect to your kinetic energy, and they know that your mind is so powerful that they just like give you imagings of shit that scares you, or they harness on shit. Like, I mean, because they're spirits, they're not human. You know what I mean? If they could be in a human's body, which they have achieved a few times through certain people and individuals, which is like, you know, you can always tell. People that are on drugs, they don't seem to be the same. There's a spirit in them. I'm sure I've had a few, you know, from when I was younger. I had a lot of liquor in me, you know, my eyes are wide open, like, you know, something will get in you, you know what I mean? It's basically just your frequency base that goes down, and the shit will get into you, you know what I mean? That's why in the Bible it says, don't even let him get a foothold in you, right? Meaning, like, what takes down your frequency? Bad food, too much meat, sodas, alcohol, weed, drugs, you know what I mean? Especially drugs. Drugs will take it all the way down, you know? Alcohol can too. It just really depends on how fucking, you know, how hyped you are with that shit. So anyways, yeah, that's my intake on everything. But from what I've been learning through the Shaolin teachings and then reading and stuff like that, like I had to dabble into a lot of things, like not negative stuff, but just more like positive and more common sensely wise. Like I haven't reached the futes yet of immortality, because there is a secret to that. Basically, like if I were to get shot, I can heal the wound with my mind, like, you know. But I don't really know how that works. There's a point to where I've done some study about it, and I think morally there is a part where maybe like you have to practice enough with your mind and in your spirit, like you have to be one, like you know who you really truly are. And like, this is just a theory of mine. I'm not saying that it's totally all the way correct, but maybe like if you're on the verge of dying, or you do die, and your spirit, you know how your spirit's leaving your body, and you're really in tune still with your body and your spirit, you go back into your body, and then that's when the energy changes, and then like everything just kind of like, you know, just heals up, and you're like more aware, and it's like a whole different level, you know what I mean? Because you were dead, but then now you're alive. Some people might know about that shit, like the ones that were like dead for a while, that got brought back to life in the hospital. They might talk about, you know, their near-death experience, but they won't go as deep as like what they saw, or the spirit world, or you know what I mean? So I think it's just really like based on your intent, you know what I mean? Like if you have good intent or bad intent, sometimes you could be led into the, how do you say, the art of confusion, and you might be thinking you're doing good, but in reality something's misleading you, you know what I mean? So you just gotta have to be really aware of that stuff. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but it's actually true. I mean, like, look at me, I'm fucking living proof, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like aging like I should, you know, and it's just basically how I take care of myself. But like I said, in the ground there's a lot of iron, and that iron will do certain things to your blood and to your skin. They profess it in movies. I mean, where do you think they get these ideas from? You know what I mean? Like, oh, immortality or immortal, right? Immortal or immortality. If you look at the ninja movies, they show you like these little weird things with their hands, and they heal there's this guy, he cut open his hand, and then he did something with his finger over his hand, and he was like, look, and then he healed it, right? That's some weird old ancient fucking ninjutsu shit, you know what I mean? But like I said, every type of energy is different. So like there can be a million different types of ways. There could be thousands of types of ways. There could probably be like maybe 5 ways. You know, we don't really know until we dabble into it. But even some couples I talked to at the bar when I was working over there, and I was telling them about like burying yourself in the ground, and this movie. If you guys ever see the movie called Riddick, he gets taken out on a mountaintop, and he's like buried underground. He broke his fucking leg, but then he like kind of performed like mini surgery on his leg, and he was surviving out there on another planet, and he ended up burying himself like under the ground kind of with some stone, and his body healed. And who knows how long he was in there. But I explained that to the lady, and the lady was playing the game, and she's like, oh yeah, she's like, you know what, I believe that shit. She's like, because there's iron in the ground. So, you know, I feel like in these times, people are starting to connect more, and they're coming more into the truth that, like, we just feel it. You could just feel it inside. Like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Like, what the fuck, you know? Things are changing. People's energies are changing. People are able to read other people's energies. I think we're finally waking up. You know, like, the foundations of this world is starting to crumble. and maybe some, like, once the grid goes out, like, that's it, game over. Like that whole power surge, like a lot of those what do you call it, transformers out there that run the power, all these power lines, these type of, like, you know, how do you say, like, boxes and shit that hold, like, energy and that, like, these things. A lot of this stuff here, man, doesn't need to be here, you know what I mean? I get it, we need electricity and light and shit, but, you know, I bet you anything, a lot of it, like, takes down our energy, because it's like one big magnetic field, you know, like over there too, like those things, when I had my ex-girlfriend, I ain't trying to talk bad about her, even if she was in the wrong about a lot of things, but she had told me when we were walking, she can hear the power lines, and she's like, you hear that fucking shit, dude? She's like, and I could hear it. It was like kind of freaky, you know, when you really pay attention to shit like that. Some people don't really give a shit because they're just, you know, going about their lives and driving and doing shit. But you know, like, you could hear the lines like and like, what is it? I mean, yeah, it's power, but what is it necessarily doing to our bodies? You know what I mean? Like, in the air, like everything that we breathe in and all that shit, you know, like a lot of this stuff wasn't here centuries ago. That's the one thing you gotta question, you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't here centuries ago, what were our people really doing? What were they really learning? You think it was just boring and it was just dirt? You know what I mean? Like, nah, it was probably a better, cleaner life. People lived way fucking longer. There was probably better relationships. If not, there might have been a couple hoes, you know what I mean? Like, you could go hoe out a little bit, you know? I'll hoe if I need to, you know? You know, everybody likes sex, you know? You can't sit here and say you don't. Women love it more than fucking men do, or they're worser than men, from what I heard. I've even heard it from women, you know? But at the end of the day, I remember hearing this one lady, I'm just gonna throw it out there, she was like 55 years old, and I was like pissed off about some things, and I was like kind of like, you know, venting to her, and she's like, oh, I get it, baby. She's like, let me tell you something. She's like, I always thought about it too, and I felt bad because she was kind of getting teary-eyed. She was having her drink, you know. She was real chill. I liked her honesty. I love honesty in a woman. That was the most coolest thing. And like I said, she was like 55 years old, and she was like, you know what? She's like, I sit here and wonder that too. She's like, I'm 55 years old, I got no kids, no husband. She's like, what the fuck's wrong with me? And I was like, man, there ain't nothing wrong with you, you know what I mean? She was a sweet lady, you know, like, I'm not gonna say I would have had dated her, you know, like, we're two different, I have difference in women, you know what I mean? But I know how to tune in to really, like, look at the beauty of somebody. And she has a lot to offer. She had a real great heart. She had a lot of beauty in her face. She might have been kind of a big girl, but she would have been a fucking great mom. You know what I mean? A great fucking wife. I could just see it. You know how you just see things in people? But yeah. So that might take a lot to give me. I need. Nigga, give me that shit. I told you, she fucking loves that fucking toy I got her. You should have seen the frisbee one, man. When I was fucking throwing that frisbee, she was like, ah, ah. Give me, mama. Yeah, she has like reserve tanks. So like, she'll get tired, and then if I let her rest a little bit, she'll fucking want to run again. Gimme. Anyways, yeah, so like I was saying about the women and men, you know what I mean? Like, it's natural to want to, I mean, if you're not trying to date, you know, you might as well just say it. Just say it, be honest, and be like, look, I don't want to date. I've been through some things, and I'm not ready, but I have needs. You know, let's get it. You know what I mean? And if they don't, well, then fuck them. Go to the next one. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. People don't know how to fucking be honest anymore. And then some of them want to be greedy. Like, they want to date one another for whatever beneficial that they get out of them. And then when they're at work, the other one's fucking around on the other one. Or going next door to the apartment and fucking that person. You know what I mean? That's just gross. That's just fucked up. You know what I mean? It would be more okay if you would just tell the truth and you're doing those things. And then that person's like, that's how they are. You know what I mean? And it's like, why are you going to sneak around? When you sneak around and do shit like that, you just make it bad. You know what I mean? So it's basically just like perspective. Like, if you have good perspective, or you can respect an individual, you know, because I try not to sit here and judge in particulars, you know what I mean, because they might have been through something, you know, they might have been abused by a man, or verbally abused, or you know, I mean, some dudes are mean, you know what I mean, like they'll hit women, or they'll beat them with a belt. Sometimes they're abusive with like their insecurities. Like if they see an insecurity, they'll be like, oh well, nobody wants you, you know, this and that, da 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 da, and it's fucked up. And they know when to hit them because they're in love. Women are the same way. I'm not just saying just men, but women can be fucking nasty, dude. They know a man's weakness. They'll go for that weakness and be like, oh well, you know, I don't know why you're being like that, but Charlie's just a friend, and da 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 da. And you never know what's going on. You know what I mean? But that's why it's best just to let people know straight out who the fuck you are, and be like, look, I don't play that fucking shit. So what you want to do, you know? And for a while, I was trying to be humble a lot. Get off. Fucking shit. I was trying to be humble for a while, and you know, show more compassion. But I gotta have a balance though. So a lot of my balances are starting to come out. Where like, I'm gonna tell you what's up. I'm gonna get in your fucking face. I'm gonna let you know. You know what I mean? At work, can't really be like that. You know what I mean? But in other levels, I'm already breaking out to be like that. So like, I'm gonna be compassionate and be cool. But then if you have a problem, I'm gonna wait a little bit, like a shark. I'm gonna circle around, and then I'm like, gotcha. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take all the time you need to understand and connect on that big level. And I hope a lot of people hear that shit. I know I'm going to get a lot of haters, though, too, because I just started ratting everybody out about what they're fucking doing. That's bad. But don't be doing it. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody, like, for me, I think that shit's just bad in general. Like, it's evil. Like, I don't sit here, like, if I'm pissed off at somebody, I'm like, man, fuck them. You know what I mean? Or if they want to box, we can box. That's the way to go. But if you're sending shit towards somebody and you're, like, doing, like, weird shit, like, that's a whole nother level, dude. That's some pussy shit. You know what I mean? Like, that is some fucking pussy shit. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you had a fucking problem, you either squared it up or you talked it out. You know what I mean? And I don't think people should be doing that, because basically what you're doing, you're sending these fucking spirits over to fucking murder somebody. That's what they do. That's all they know. That's all they care about. They're here to kill, destroy, steal, and that's what it says in the Bible. And yeah, so that's, I mean, you're saying something else to a person when you're doing that. You know what I mean? So if people are aware now, and you know now, and once you start to in tune, oh, war's gonna break out, man. That's all I could say if you're gonna be doing some shit like that. But anyways, enough of that. Yeah, enjoy the video. Take all the time you need to soak up that shit. I got a homie that calls me SpongeBob because I'm able to absorb, and then the shit that I don't need, it contract it out, or whatever the word is. All right, peace out. Lulu, say goodbye with your smart little butt. With your attitude, because I wasn't giving you attention for the first 32 minutes, but you're still here. Give me that shit. Oh. All right, y'all. Later.